If you're an electrician, an electrical engineer, or you're training to become one, you need to pay attention to what's coming on the 15th of April 2026. The 18th edition wiring regulations are getting their biggest update since Amendment 2, and this is going to be called Amendment 4. The new book has an orange cover, which is different from the previous one that had a brown cover, and people are calling this Orange Book. And it's going to change the way that we deal with battery storage, power over Ethernet, ICT systems, and medical locations. In this video, I'm breaking down exactly what is changing, the key dates that you cannot miss, and what you need to do about your qualifications. Stay to the end because I will tell you one thing that could catch a lot of people out. What is Amendment 4? So let's start with the basics. BS7671, also known as the IET wiring regulations, is the UK's national standard for electrical installations. It covers everything from design to installation, inspection, testing, and certification of low voltage systems. It's jointly published by the IET, which stands for the Institution of Engineering and Technology, and BSI, which is the British Standards Institution. Now, the current 18th edition was originally published back in July 2018, and then from that point there's been a couple of amendments. So the first amendment was in 2020, and this dealt mainly with EV charging installations. And then Amendment 2 came in 2022, and that was the Brown Book, and that was a major consolidated update. Then Amendment 3 came along in July of 2024, and it was just a PDF bolt-on, so not a complete overhaul of the whole book. And it just added requirements for bi-directional protective devices for solar PV, battery storage, as well as vehicle-to-grid systems. Amendment 4 is the next step, and the official title for it is BS 7671 2018 plus A4 2026. It was signed off on the 15th of January 2026, and it's going to be published on the 15th of April 2026. And this is going to be a fully consolidated edition, meaning it rolls together the original 18th edition plus all the previous amendments. That is 1, 2, 3, and now this one into one single document. No additional PDF bolt-on or an extra book. It's just one big book. So the important thing to know here is this is not the 19th edition. It's still the 18th edition, but it's an amendment to the existing framework, not a complete replacement. Full editions tend to come around every 8 to 10 years. So when a new edition comes, be sure to be on this channel because I will let you know. Moving on to the key changes, right? So what actually is going to change in this new Orange Book? There are 5 major areas of change that have been confirmed. Change number 1, there's going to be a new chapter on stationary secondary batteries. This is probably the biggest addition to the book, with battery energy storage systems becoming more and more common. Think home and solar plus storage setups, commercial battery installations, grid resilience systems. The regulations now have a dedicated chapter covering their installation. This covers protection requirements, ventilation, fire segregation, isolation devices, and testing. And then for domestic battery installations, there's a specific reference to PAS 63100, which is the standard for protecting against fire in battery energy storage systems. For non-domestic buildings, you'll need to base your fire protection measures on a proper fire risk assessment. So the key takeaway here is you can no longer just follow the manufacturer's instructions and call it a day. Now there's a formal BS 7671 standard or requirement for battery installations. Change 2 is a new section on power over Ethernet, PoE. Power over Ethernet has become increasingly common in smart buildings. It's used for lighting, access control, security cameras, and building management systems. Up until now, PoE was viewed as just another IT concern and not really something covered by wiring regulations. However, Amendment 4 changes that. Section 716 sets out requirements for distributing extra low voltage DC power using data cables. It addresses cable derating because when you use a bundle of or lot of PoE data cables, you get heat buildup, and then that affects the current carrying capacity of the cable. It also covers things like protection, earthing, and different of PoE. Now, if you are a commercial electrician or you are an electrician who works on smart buildings, then this section is very, very important to you. Change 3 is functional earthing for ICT systems. This is about distinguishing between protective earthing, which is for safety, and functional earthing, which is about performance. ICT systems or equipment like servers, network switches, CCTV can suffer from signal interference, ground loops, and EMI if the earthing isn't quite right. So Amendment 4 adds a clear requirement for functional earthing infrastructure in these installations. If you're working on office fit-outs, data centers, or any environment with significant IT equipment, then this change is relevant to you. Change number 4 is a new revision to Section 710, medical locations. Section 710 has had a significant overhaul. Medical locations have unique electrical safety requirements because honestly, patient lives are at stake. So the revision updates guidance to reflect current medical installation practices and introduces a formal schedule of test results specifically to recording the resistance of supplementary protective equipotential bonding conductors. Oh my god, that's a lot of words. Anyone working in a healthcare environment, this changes how you view your documentation and how you verify your work in such spaces. Okay, that was a lot of electrical wording. I might have fumbled a few words there, but I'm sure you get the gist of the change. Change 5 is Energy Efficiency Framework, Chapter 81, and an Amendment 3 integration. So Chapter 81 is a new introductory framework on energy efficiency for low voltage installations. At this stage, it's more of a signposting chapter, setting the direction for future editions rather than imposing specific new obligations. It signals where BS7671 is headed. On top of all that, Amendment 3 from 2024 is now fully integrated into the new document, and all this continues to abide or conform to the standards. Let's talk about the key dates that you must know. This is the section where I need you to sit down, take a pen and paper, write these dates down or screenshot these parts because you will really need this. So on the 15th of January, this is past obviously, Amendment 4 content was signed off by the IET and BSI, and the technical detail of what was going to be in the book, etc. was confirmed. And then the 15th of April 2026 is the actual publication day. So this is where the Orange Book is going to be released. If you haven't pre-ordered your copy of the Orange Book, right now would be the time to do that, and you can do it from the IET website. I will link it in the description. And then from the 16th of April to the 15th of October 2026, this is the transition time. So during this time, both the Orange Book and the Brown Book are going to be working or be used in parallel. So both will be used, whether you're training or you're sitting for the exam or whatever, you're going to be using content from both books. And then from the 15th of October, or let's just say the 16th of October going forward, then that is like the critical cutoff time. So you will no longer be able to use the Brown Book. Course materials or even exams will not have content from the Brown Book. It will entirely just be the Orange Book. So keep that in mind. So what does this actually mean for you? Here's the advice depending on where you are in your journey. So if you don't have the 18th edition yet, don't wait until April where this Orange Book is released. You can actually sit for the exam practice with the current Brown Book, and then you can always update or upgrade your knowledge later. Now, if you already have a valid 18th edition qualification, and then this new orange book is coming out. Obviously, you're not going to entirely sit down and rewrite everything again. No, you might need a little CPD, and then you update your knowledge, keep up to date with the new trends and the new requirements and the new regulations, because ignorance is not an excuse. You will still need to do your installations or your electrical work according to the new standards. So you don't necessarily have to go and chuck your current qualification in the bin. You just need to upgrade. So be knowledgeable, learn about the new changes, and then keep up with the new information. Now, if you're an international electrical professional looking to work in the UK, well, this is more so my world. I would say it could be confusing because all these changes are coming and you're already trying to navigate the qualification system. It could be a lot. So what you need to do, like anyone else, if you don't already have the BS7671, sit down for it and get the qualification. You don't necessarily need to wait till April when the new orange book is published. And then for more information around just changing your qualifications from whatever country you are to UK standards, you can find videos on my channel. I'll also link some videos. You can watch and see the things that are helpful. Ask questions in the comments. People will respond. I will respond, and we can help each other from there. Now, if you're a design engineer like me, this is good information to have. So Amendment 4 affects the design of installations. So the new battery systems, the PoE, ICT, everything. Just if you have the qualification already, update or upgrade on what you already have. If you don't have it entirely, then go get the qualification. If you've watched the video up until this point, kudos to you, well done. Now I'm going to give you a little tip. So I promised I would tell you this, and this is what is going to happen now. So here's the thing. The exam, if you're sitting for your 18th edition exam between April and October 2026, you need to know which book to use, and you need to know which version you're sitting for. So during that transition window, you're sitting for the old and the new. So you'll be using the brown book and the orange book in parallel. And then it's also just an open book exam, so you don't really need to be stressed out about it. However, you need to know your books, because you will spend the 60 minutes just perusing through the pages if you don't know where to find your information. And then after the 15th of October, out with the brown book, in with the orange book completely. So you can't then sit for an exam using the old brown book. So make sure you time your things correctly, and make sure you know which book is in effect at the time of your exam. Now, that was a lot of chat, and if you really enjoyed any of the things that I talked about, be sure to smash that like button, subscribe to the channel, turn on your post notifications so that every time I post something, you are notified and you're not left wondering or trying to navigate things on your own. I break it down and make it simple for everyone. I will see you in the next video. However, if you feel like, chilling around, watching more videos, then I will link a video right here where I talk about how you can work as an electrician in the UK with overseas qualifications. I'm sure that is something that can be useful to you. Or you can watch here where I talk about the different types of ECS cards that are there in the UK. I'll see you next time.